at the scene, it really was a very terrible scene. We were able to get to where this burnt out wreck had landed. What seems to have happened is that as it came into land, it was about 4 or 5 meters off the ground, according to witnesses, including from the company that operated this balloon. Somehow the cradle caught fire. We're not quite sure how, but there was some sort of leak from a gas pipe. And the cradle caught fire, and the passenger, the pilot, who was very badly burned, sort of fell out or jumped out of the basket. He was on fire, and the change in weight sent the balloon back up into the air. And at that point, other passengers tried to jump out as well. And of course, the more jumped out, the lighter it got. The more it rose into the air until suddenly you could see from videos taken at the scene, you could see the smoke enveloping the balloon until it finally sort of imploded and just came crashing down to the ground in flames. And all those who were left on board were unfortunately burnt beyond recognition. So a terrible disaster witnessed from the ground and from the air, from other passengers and other balloons nearby. There were 19 people killed in this disaster. There were two survivors. One was the Egyptian pilot, and one was a construction firm manager from Scotland called Michael Rennie. He's 49. He's from Perth. As I say, he was in deep shock. He was found by one of the tour operator's drivers, who described to us how he was crying for his wife, asking where she was, didn't really seem to understand what had happened. His wife, Yvonne Rennie, sadly, who did die, she was a hospital receptionist. They were married. They'd been together some time, we were told by neighbours, but had only recently married. Mr. Rennie had children by a previous marriage. The other two British-based people who died, there was a British artist called Joe Bampton, who's 40, and his girlfriend, who's a Hungarian called Susanna Gvetai, if that's the right pronunciation. They worked together for an art and antiques firm in South London, in Balham, and were also in their own right up-and-coming artists. Miss Gvetai had work exhibited at the Saatchi Gallery, and both were seen as rising stars. The authorities have now launched an investigation, obviously, into what's happened. The local governor and the Minister for Civil Aviation were both on the scene this morning. They jointly announced that all balloon rides would be suspended pending an inquiry. The prosecution service is also investigating. There are allegations by the local tourism chief, the head of the Chamber of Tourism, that the Ministry of Civil Aviation, which is responsible for licensing balloons, had let inspections slip in recent months, particularly since the revolution 2 years ago. Now, the balloon company, which is a company called Sky Cruise, which is one of 8 balloon companies operating in Luxor, we spoke to them this evening, and they absolutely were adamant that the balloon had been inspected 2 weeks ago, that the license was up to date. But it has to be said that the ballooning industry over Luxor has had a patchy record.